Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's your girl, IkwerreGirl Acheru, all the way from Talk to Dot, London, and we're here to talk about rape culture all over the world, not just in Nigeria, but we're going to be specifically looking at a scenario or an incident that happened in Nigeria. Today, the topic of today is sex without consent isn't sex, it is rape. The reason why I've titled this today is actually in dedication to a girl in Nigeria, a young girl, 22 years old, who got raped and murdered. Well, raped, tortured, beaten, and left for dead. She struggled for her life. She struggled and she survived, and she made it to the hospital, but then she died a couple of days later or a day later in the hospital. So it's real, it happened, and there's been lots of conversations on social media, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I need to talk about this. So I'm here today to talk about that. But before I start, 1 minute or a couple of seconds silence or something for the girl that died in Nigeria, and to all the other rape victims that have survived or died in the process or died spiritually or emotionally or any sort of death they had. Just a moment of silence for them. Right, rape. Okay, it's a very sensitive issue, and it's a topic that is dear to my heart as well. Anything that is any form of abuse in any way is quite dear to my heart. Be it sexual abuse, sexual assault, relationship abuse, power abuse, control abuse, financial abuse, any kind of abuse of any sort, anything that will traumatize a person, anything that is unjust to a person it's something that is dear to my heart, and sometimes I might get a bit passionate. So if I start shouting and pulling my hair out, just know that I'm vexed. You understand? I'm really vexed. And a lot of times, things happen in this life because there's loads of terrible people out there. There are loads of horrible people out there, and really there's nothing we can do about it. But what really gets me really vexed is the responses from the society. And I'm thinking, like, we freaking live with a lot of crazy people as well, because something happens and then people are just chatting nonsense on social media. So that's the one that gets to me. The act is heinous. I mean, I hate it for the fact, and I want to grieve for this little girl that died, and every other victim of rape, and every other victim of any sort of assault or, injustice. But then, social media and people, it's not just social media. Social media makes you see the heart of people, because people are expressing themselves, they're expressing their feelings. Without social media, you would not understand the kind of people you live with. You would not understand the kind of people that live around you. So social media allows them express themselves, and then when they do, they vomit a lot of vile. It's like inside of them is rotten, absolutely rotten stench comes out. Because sometimes, sometimes you misfire, you say things, but you read what you've written, and then you take it back. So this girl, right, she went to read in a church, right? Daytime, it wasn't nighttime, daytime, because she was found at 6 p.m. She went to read, and she went there to read, and she was there reading, and she was attacked by 4 guys in the church. The church is Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG. Yes, I said it, because I think that's the one that troubles people a lot. So she went to read in RCCG, Redeemed Christian Church of God, in somewhere in Benin City. She was attacked by 4 guys. She was raped. She was mashed up. They mashed her up with a air extinguisher can, the cylinder, beat her, battered her. She struggled for her life. She was found by a security guard at about 6 p.m. People were alerted. They called her parents. By then, she was rushed to the hospital. She managed to narrate the ordeal, and then she gave up. She still lasted long enough to tell what happened to her. Now, it's a very sad case. It's terrible. I mean, it's even more painful that it happened in church, because I feel bad as a church person myself. I feel like, wow, even the church is not safe for you to go. Instead of people to see it as what it is. I see people in groups, and people all over social media and Twitter saying, oh, is the church a library? Why would she go to read in the library in the first place? And we have people saying stuff like, why did she go to a place on her own? She should have been more mindful. You have those people that say, that is why people should be sensitive in the Spirit. They should allow the Spirit. If she was sensitive to the Spirit, the Holy Spirit would have told her, sister, it's not safe to go there. This is the kind of nonsense I have to see on social media, honestly. This is the kind of nonsense. You know, I don't mind, because like I said, social media gives people the opportunity to show themselves for who they are. It's like now, yeah, if you don't see me talking like this, you probably won't know that's how I feel. You probably don't know that's how much I hate what I'm seeing. You might just think, oh, that girl that just makes us laugh. No. It's disgusting, the things I see. So social media makes you know me a little bit more as I'm beginning to know people on social media. Now, does it matter if she went to read in church? Look, for a fact, many years ago, a long time ago, before a lot of people that are watching me were born, I used to go to the church to read. Because it was a safe place, it was nice, it was open. I went there to read for my WAEC as well. So don't tell me somebody went to church to read. Why would you go there? It's a safe place, it's a church. You don't expect to be raped in church. You have another bunch of people, school of thought, that say people should, sometimes women or girls bring it upon themselves because of this. People should be mindful about the way they dress and the place they go. Are you listening to yourself? There is no justification for something that is wrong. It's almost like someone saying, she shouldn't have provoked him, that's why he slapped her. Or he shouldn't have provoked her, or he shouldn't have done this, that's why she put rat poison in his food. Seriously, there's no logic to that. If something is wrong, it is wrong. There is no justification for a person being raped. I don't care if she wore a bra and a pant and was walking all about. Would it kill a person to say, do you know what, you're not dressed properly, cover yourself or whatever? Do you have to rape her? Besides, it's not even about her dressing. People pry on vulnerable people and it is wrong. Call it wrong. Don't look for excuses. Now, like I said, yeah, in this life, right? Chatting, I'm quite emotional now, so I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not taking crack. You have to give me a full sentence. So, there is no justification for what's wrong. There is no justification. I said this the other day, right? When people were saying Black Lives Matter and people were responding All Lives Matter, I was like, what is that? We all know that all lives matter, but when we're dealing with an isolated incident, that we're trying to promote something that Black Lives Matter, don't come and tell us all lives matter. Do you understand? It's almost like they are barbaric towards animals. And when someone says animal cruelty, you now say, stay home and stay safe. It's irrelevant. You have to focus on the idea. Someone got raped, she died. In fact, even if she didn't die, it's not the issue. Someone got raped, let's focus on the incident. It is wrong. Until we learn to teach ourselves and teach our male and female people around us what rape is and what is right and what is wrong, we don't make progress. Please don't come in my space. Don't come in anyone's space, in fact, and be saying she shouldn't have been alone, or she shouldn't have done this, she shouldn't have done that. What are you talking about? Let's think with what's right and wrong, okay? It is wrong for anyone to get raped. It is wrong for anyone to get harassed. It is wrong for anyone to get attacked. There is no justification. Nothing justifies a wrongdoing, a wrong deed. What's wrong is wrong. Call it as it is. Call it spade is spade. You understand? A lot of people are getting really passionate and emotional, which is the thing you see all the time. Once you mention church, right? Once you mention church, it becomes a different story altogether. Once you mention church, right? Everybody gets emotional. Like I said in one of my videos, right? If this girl got raped in the marketplace or university lecture hall, it would be a different story. Just because it was a redeemed, I'm saying it loud and clear, it was a redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG. You understand? A lot of times here, the location is not really the problem, or the church is not really the problem. It's the act people have an issue with. But then church people make it an issue. You understand? You have people getting all, emotional and protective. You understand? Being very protective. So what? It happened in redeemed, it happened in redeemed. I expect you guys to go there and check your church. Check the people that have access to the church. People that, probably members of the church. You never know. I don't know. But people are getting defensive because it was a church premises. You understand? Instead of looking into the fact that, oh my goodness, our church is not safe. Or the church is not a safe place. It's no longer a safe heaven. Or people should be careful and stuff like that. People are getting defensive. Do you know what? Sex without consent is rape. Now, to all those people out there, like I said at the beginning, yeah, if I get emotional and I get whatever and it sounds like I'm losing it, I'm vexed. And like I said, it is my page and it is my stream. If you don't like it, delete yourself, block. Or I block you. If you had sex with someone without their consent, you rape them. It destroys your inner content, your spiritual self. You have a lot of dead people walking about. You know why? Because inside of them has been broken beyond repair. You see, all of these things that are done to people, you don't have any idea the long-term effect of it. Rape is any act, sexual act towards a person, a woman, yeah? Any penetration without consent is rape. Any coercion, if you coerced a girl or a woman into having sex with you by giving her gifts or sweets, trying to convince her beyond her consent, take this sweet or take this thing, and you finally end up having sex with her, you raped her, and you are a rapist. You get me? You are a rapist. If you slept, or if you had sex with an underage girl, I don't know the constitution in Nigeria, yeah, but let's just say 18 and let's just say 16 below. If you had sex with, if you're an adult, 18 and above, and you had sex with someone who is younger than 16 years old, you raped her. You get me? You raped her, and you are a rapist. Please go and make peace with yourself. If you had sex with someone who is not able to articulate themselves in terms of understanding, right? In terms of understanding, let's say they've got a mental health problem, a disability, they're slow to speech, you take advantage of that situation and you have sex with them. So they were not able to give their consent, but you did it anyway. You are a rapist. Now, I'm not making these laws. This is the definition. And as I always say, Google is your friend. So go and check it, all right? Okay? If you use the other kind of coercion, power control, you use shouting, violence, put down. Look at you. You're lesbian now. Nobody will sleep with you. Look at you. You're not even fine. Look at you. Look at your big head like that. Look, who wants you? You use that kind of emotional manipulation to get a person to have sex with you. Bloody hell, you're a rapist. You get me? You are a rapist. Now, let's go to the other category of people, which are the women I see talking smack. Why did she dress like that? Girls should be more sensitive. Sometimes they invite people to rape them. Oh, what's the other one that said, you know, as a girl, if you go to a guy's house or you tell a guy you're coming to see him, he's already charged up. So if you go there and say you don't want, anything that happens to you is your fault. To those category of ladies that say stuff like that there, you know, as somebody that studies psychology a lot, you know what's coming out of you? You are raped. Yeah? Because you were raped, and potentially you are still being raped. You want other people to feel your pain. As opposed to sympathizing with them, you feel like they deserve it. Because I don't understand why another female will ever feel like another female deserved to be raped. You think that they're the ones that say, no, guy, this thing is terrible. But psychology has proved that sometimes people that go through a particular kind of trauma, as opposed to them feeling sympathy towards someone going through the same trauma, they want people to suffer their pain and they feel happy. Because for them, that's how they find peace. So yeah, if you're in the category of men that are doing these things, yeah, sorry, you're a rapist. All right? And if you talk all those nonsense about, and it sounds like you support it, it makes people feel like you do stuff like that. That's why you justify it. Because someone who doesn't do stuff like that would never justify that kind of act. If you're a woman as well, female species, right, that came from planet Z Floyd, and you sound like it's okay, you know, it was her fault. You know, you start a beautiful sentence like, oh, I don't condone rape, rape is bad, but, once I hear but, right, I just know the rest of the sentence, nonsense. Because in English language, if you say something, the first part of the sentence, and then you conjoin it with the word but, right, it means the second part of it is going to contradict the first part. You get me? I went to a good secondary school. They taught us English language, yeah? So when you start a sentence, I see some guys writing, I don't condone rape. I don't think rape is not good. But, once I see but, I know the rest of it is trash. So I don't even bother. You get me? You understand? So please, rape is rape. Now, the other categories of sexual assault and sexual abuse. Now, sexual abuse is usually used for children. You understand? Sexual abuse. I mean, children can get raped as well. But when you hear sexual abuse is used for children that were groped or there were sexual acts performed on them, they will say this child was sexually abused. When you say sexual assault, you're referring to an adult who sexual activities were performed on them. It wasn't their consent, but it happened. So that you hear someone say they were sexually assaulted. You have people who went to a party and this is rape anyway. You have people that went to a party, they got them drunk, or they didn't get them drunk, they just drank and had a good time. And in the process, because they're all like this, you proceeded to have sex with them. You say they said yes, but I mean, they're drunk now. How would they have known what they were saying yes to? A person who is drunk or high on drugs, if you have said, kill yourself, they'll say, yeah, I want to kill myself, kill me. They don't know what they're saying. So if you done it then with them, you raped them. Sorry, you did. Go and make peace with yourself. Make peace with whatever happened. You understand? It is rape. There's no excuse. I don't mince words. Like I said at the beginning, you don't like it, feel free to block me or, leave the space. Okay, I say what I have to say as it is, because I know, as I say in Nigeria, I know where the matter they pay me rich. You get me? So it's painful to talk about rape. You understand? People miss the concept of rape because they think that, like, for instance, what happened to this girl, this is what people will know as rape. Where people jumped her, they beat her up, they crushed her head, crushed her skull, and all that. People see that as rape. You know, that's violence, sexual violence. That is it. That's what people see. So they see that as it. Oh, she was raped. But there's other kinds of rape that isn't that violent, where in fact somebody was pushed to the edge and they had to say, all right, just do it. You understand? Afterwards, that girl turns around and says you raped her. She's not lying, you did. Because you cornered her into a spot. Cornered her into a spot wasn't that you cornered her and say, if you don't do this, I'm going to kill you. But you cornered her into a spot where she had no choice but to consent. See, that kind of consent, yeah? She was pushed to say yes. It's almost like someone who, I don't know, you know how you have blackmailers, people that blackmail people. Yeah, you blackmail people. You push someone in the corner and say, do this or we'll do that. You have people that they know they got secrets on this girl. If you don't come and have sex with me, right? You don't want to have sex with me, I will tell the world that this, or I'll show them this picture, I'll do that. Then the girl has no choice because she's ashamed. And then you go ahead and have sex with her. You don't think you raped her? You did rape her. Because that kind of consent wasn't free will consent. It was consent that was given based on the situation. Sexual harassment is around. People send you, let's say they send you all kind of emails or text message, or they do some kind of facial expressions and stuff like that, things around you. They do stuff around you. They might not actually touch you. They might not actually come in physical contact, but they did a lot of sexual things around you that makes you really uncomfortable. You understand? That's sexual harassment. That is sexual harassment. You see somebody walking, you're like, those kind of things people do. Women can actually sexually harass a man as well. So yes, sexual harassment goes both ways. You understand? Even you hear people say, oh yeah, but she came on to me. So, does that mean you should rape her? You understand? So in a nutshell, yeah, today's topic, yeah, sex without consent is not sex, is rape. It's dedicated, I'm saying it again, it's dedicated to the girl. 21, 22-year-old girl who went to a church. They went to Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG. Yeah? And she went to read. And then 4 people jumped her, raped her, bashed her head with the extinguisher canister. She managed to survive. Security guy came in some hours later, 6 p.m., found her there in a pool of blood, raised alarm. They found her family. By the time they got to the church, she'd been taken to the hospital. She battled for her life. She was able to tell her story, which she did. She told her story anyway about what happened. Men are they haven't been identified anyway, but she died. So I'm quite upset, obviously, because people are talking nonsense on Facebook. Yep, I'm saying, yep, said it, talking nonsense. All right, I say again, there is no justification for anything that is bad. If something is bad, call it bad. Don't say, oh, that guy should not have stolen that car. But why did the owner leave the car there with the engine running and the key there? Do you understand? That kind of talk it doesn't make sense. Someone stole the store, it's bad. It doesn't matter if the thing was left there to be stolen. That's not the point. A girl was raped, It is bad. And it is wrong. You understand? There's nothing good about it. Girls out there, yeah? If people are raping you and you don't know what rape is, yeah? I'll go to the definition again. If someone had sex with you without your consent, it doesn't matter if the person did not beat you. It doesn't matter if they didn't flog you. It doesn't matter if there wasn't a gang of boys that jumped you on the streets, right? The point is you did not give your consent and it happened. You were raped. And you have the right to call it out. Speak your truth, okay? As opposed to going on social media to say someone deserved it. You understand? If you were drunk or a bit tipsy or someone drugged you and they had sex with you, you woke up and found out you were raped. Speak your truth, yeah? Speak the truth and be set free. You understand? As the Bible says, the truth will set you free. Okay? Don't go saying that other people deserved it. Nobody deserves to be raped. Nobody deserves any bad thing that happened. We can't stop bad things from happening. But when it happens, let us sympathize with those that have lost their child and those that it happened to. Let us not say they deserved it. That doesn't make sense in any way. You understand? Check yourself. If somebody has sex with you, right, and you were underage and they were of age, You understand? Even if you said yes. You get me? It is rape. You understand? By law. I don't care if you said yes or not. You understand? Whether you want to call the person out, whether you want to talk about it, is up to you. You know, whether you feel good about being raped or not is up to you. The point is, by law, if you're an underage child, I know 10-year-old girls, 12 years, 9, 8 years old, they have sex with men, and it's their consent, it's their choice. Yeah, but the truth is, that act was not sex. He wasn't making love. It was rape. Because the older person should have known better. Now I'm talking to the girls, though. If you got any mental health problems, or you got any health problems or any disabilities, and you, or let's say English is a problem, you didn't understand what you were being asked, and before you know, you knew what was happening, it happened. You were raped. If someone of authority, yeah, someone because they are in position, uses their position to have sex with you, that's rape. For instance, your boss, for instance, your pastor, for instance, your lecturer, you know, they're in the position to know what's right, yeah? They're in the position to know what's right. But they use their position to exploit, sexually exploit people. It is rape. Now, for men that go through the same thing, like I said, they're sexually assaulted. And that is also a serious crime, okay? If someone used their position because of a job you wanted, because they were your pastor, because they were older than you, because they were your landlords, and they used that, my brother, you were sexually assaulted. It is what it is. If you were pinned to a corner where you had to give consent that you didn't want to, but you had no choice but to say yes, that's not real consent. That's assault. That's sexual assault. If you are a guy and you are sodomized, that is rape. You get me? That's how I feel about this girl called Ua. And I hope she gets justice. I hope that we get justice for Ua. And not just Ua, all the other girls, all the other victims of rape all over the world. Yeah? Because every minute, at least 20 people are being assaulted. And these statistics come from the United States of America. In Africa, in places like South Africa, East Africa, Nigeria, and the rest of them, trust me, yeah, I'm sure it is every second it's happening. Because in these countries, yeah, there's no way to track these things. And it's difficult. It's very difficult. There's so much shame on the victim. You understand? Now, before I wrap up this life, right? By the way, someone told me that it's been at least 4 girls this month. No, not this month. In the last 4 weeks, at least 4 girls have been raped and killed in Nigeria. So there you go. And these are the ones that we have the statistics on. How about those ones that didn't find their bodies? How about those ones that never came out? You get me? So this is happening all the time. Another great percentage of them do talk about it, but no one believes them. Another percentage of them actually come out to talk about this and report it to the police. But they don't get justice. The case, it's impossible to prove the case. You understand? One of the reasons, now if you reported it that you were not able to prove a case or the police did not do much about it, at least you spoke your truth. If you speak your truth is your truth. Whether anyone believes you or not is not relevant. You know, one thing I say to people is speak your truth. If you're a Christian, the truth will set you free. Speak your truth always. It is your truth. Doesn't matter if people don't believe you. You know the truth and you spoke it. To hell with every other person. Now, to people out there in society, yeah, change your mindset. Renew your mind. If someone comes out and says they were raped, don't ask them, where were you? What were you putting on? You shouldn't have gone there. You should have been more careful. You see, those kind of, you sure you didn't lure the guy in any way? You see, these kind of conversations, yeah, it makes people never speak about it. It makes the victim believe that they're liars, you know? It makes them feel like they're liars. And when you do that as well, saying, but she shouldn't have gone there, she shouldn't have worn that clothes, you know what you're doing? You're making the perpetrators, the rapists, feel like they're doing something that's right. Until we start calling people out for what it is, until we start calling it as it is, it won't stop. But please, let people that their daughter died, let people that have been raped, you understand, allow them to find closure, okay? Allow them to find closure. It's very important. I said in one of my videos, right? Until certain things happen to you, you will not understand the pain other people are feeling. You get me? For all the guys out there and all the ladies out there, I hope that you never have to feel the pain that Uwa's family are feeling right now. You understand? I hope your child never gets raped and dies under these circumstances. That is now a public show. People are now debating on this and that. You get me? I hope it never happens to you. Because until it does, you will not understand what that family is feeling right now. You understand? You will not understand what certain people are feeling right now. You know? So please, yeah, try and have a heart. Try and be sympathetic. You understand? And if you don't feel sympathetic in any way, yeah, just if you don't feel it, you feel like, yeah, she deserves it, just do us a favor, don't say it. You just keep it to yourself. Don't express yourself. Just because of expressing yourself, right, you're causing more pain to the family. Just imagine if Uwa's family is on Facebook or Twitter, and they're seeing all these comments of people saying, why did she go to the church to read? Is it the church a library? You know? They're seeing all these comments and people saying, oh, you know, this one. You understand? Like someone said she deserved it. She was dating two guys. What is that? Who is this person, by the way? Why? And he's deactivated his Facebook account. They should look him up. He's a suspect. You understand? Because he seems to know the story very well. You get me? If someone was raped, right, allow the family, their friends, to find closure. Allow all the other rape survivors around the world, because some people survive this kind of act. Allow them to find closure. Don't make the victim, don't shame the victim, because the society has this culture of shaming victims. Please don't shame victims when they even come out to talk about it. Because a lot of people never do. They just live with the pain and the bitterness. You understand? Yes, if you talk to girls that are being raped, yeah, a part of them is taken away from them. It takes a miracle for them to get that part of them back, to get that piece back. Sometimes that piece of them, it dies forever. And it will affect their lives forever. You understand? So imagine a girl that was raped at 15 or 16 or 17 or 20. And she lives till 70. All those years, 50 years after it happened, that piece of her may never heal. And it will affect all her choices in life and the way she sees life. A simple example, take a bowl, break the bowl. Try to patch the bowl, you know, with sticky tape and all that thing. It will never be the same. You will see the cracks and the dents. You get me? Even a computer hard drive, a hard disk, you format it, you clean everything. It still has dents. It will never be the same. So please, yeah, society, let us be sensitive to things like this. Let's be sensitive to domestic abuse and domestic violence. Let us be sensitive to rape. Let us try and change the rape culture. Let us change our mindset. Yeah? Talking about a girl in Nigeria, 22 years old, that got raped in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. She went to the church to read, to study. And 4 guys jumped her in the church. They raped her. They beat her. In fact, I think they wanted her dead. You know, because how she survived is a miracle. They used the extinguisher canister and they battered her with it. If you've been raped, yeah? If you've been, I hope you find healing and peace. And find a way to walk your way through it. You understand? So you can heal. If you're being raped right now constantly in your marriage, in your relationship, speak about it. Let it out. Speak your truth. If you are raping people intentionally, please stop it. Okay? If you are raping people unintentionally, because you don't know the definition of rape, I've just defined it now. Or you can go on Google and check what rape is. Stop doing it. You're destroying people's lives, spirit, soul, and body. If you are a spectator watching, right, in society, please don't shame any victim of rape or any victim of sexual abuse or sexual assault or groping or anything at all, harassment, sexual harassment. You understand? Don't shame them, because when you shame them, they don't talk about it and they feel bad. And then also, when you shame them publicly, you're making the perpetrator or perpetrators feel like rape is acceptable and it's right and they've done nothing wrong. Yeah? So from me to you, yeah, it's IkwerreGirl Acheru, all the way from London, UK, talk to Dot. I will be, check out my YouTube channel if you like, and there's lots of educational videos there, stuff that could help you or help someone you know. Don't forget to subscribe if you like, and have a blessed evening. One love.